Welcome to Management Minute. Today we're going to discuss how to configure log forwarding preference lists so that we can spread ingestion across collectors in a group. So here we have a panorama, and this panorama is managing a number of devices. It's also managing 3 collectors. The first collector is its local collector for this panorama mode VM, and then we have 2 M200 appliances in logger mode that are both members of this remote CG collector group. So what we want to accomplish is we want to be able to forward logs from all of these firewalls to this collector group in such a way that we split the ingestion load between M200-1 and M200-2. Each M200 has a specific capacity to ingest logs, and we want to be able to use that capacity to the greatest effect. So if we open up the collector group and we go to the device log forwarding tab, this is where we can control which firewalls forward to which collectors and in which order. The idea here is that we are going to create one log forwarding preference list per collector in the group, and then we're going to divide our firewalls evenly among those preference lists. Let's get into it. So we're going to create the first forwarding preference list. And for collectors, we're going to add M200-1 as the primary and M200-2 as the secondary. And then we're going to add about half of our firewalls. In this case, we have 8 firewalls, and they are varying models with varying capacities to generate logs. But for demonstration purposes, we're going to try and spread them out as much as possible. And there we have one preference list. The idea is to create one preference list per collectors, and we have 2 collectors. So we're going to add a second preference list, but the key here is for the second preference list, we're going to add M200-2 as the primary and M200-1 as the secondary, and then add the second half of our firewalls. So now we're in a state where 100% of our firewalls are forwarding to this group, but we've been able to split the ingestion between 1 and 2, because M200-1 and M200-2 serve as primary collectors, each for half of the estate. And they each serve as secondary for half of the estate, which means for any given firewall, they have a secondary collector to fall back to should the primary become unreachable.